Okay. So if I asked you to solve this for all possible solutions, solving our trig function, starts out kind of like solving a variable. So you have to get it by itself. What would I do then?
Add the 1.
Add the 1 over. So cosine squared theta equals 1. How do you get rid of the square?
Square root.
And if you add square root, you need?
Boogeyman.
So cosine equal to plus and minus 1. So think back to your unit circle. Cosine is the x. So I'm asking every time on that circle, when is our x positive 1 or negative 1? And let's do radians. So when does that happen?
Pi or 0 or 2 pi. He's right, 0.
0 and pi. Instead of 0, you could say 2 pi. And it would continue, right? Every time you went around the circle.
What's that little?
So it'd be like, again, at 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, 7 pi.
Oh, 2k pi plus 2k pi. 2 pi
Yeah,
k?
or we could just even say pi k. Every multiple of pi is happening where as long as k is an integer.
I just couldn't remember what the. I knew there was something we did, but I couldn't remember what it was.
The only reason I had to do the pi k is because it said all solutions. If I just said between 0 and 2 pi, 0 and pi would be sufficient. But this one's happening every multiple of pi.
I forgot how bad I am at drawing that Z.
Alright, so if I want to solve the next one, what would we do?
Add, subtract the square root.
And then?
Divide by 2.
Okay. In which quadrants is tangent negative?
2 and 4.
Referencing. Do we know when tangent is radical 3 over 3? Tangent of 60 is the square root of 3. 30.
Oh, I can't. What?
So that would be pi over 6. Because remember, tangent is square root of the top over square root of the bottom.
Oh, I was doing reference angle, but not right. I was just getting the denominator.
Oh. So pi over 6 in quadrant 2 would be 5 pi over 6. And quadrant 4, double minus 1 would be 11 pi over 6. And if I'd only said between 0 and 2 pi, those would be my answers. Because I said all solutions, what would I put on each of them?
Okay. Plus 2 pi.
Yeah. Because that means every time we go around the circle, we hit those again. So k is, and then it's right here as well.
That's just like. How does tangent.
So pi over 6. Square root of 1 over square root of 3. Get the radical off the bottom.
Oh, that's right. Okay. The brain was not braining.
Yeah, I get it. It's been a hot minute since grade.
Well, she's been a day.
What about this one?
Pick up a sign.
Secant factor. Raise term factor. So these terms we take out sine theta. That leaves us with 2 sine theta plus 1. So we have two things multiply that equals 0. What do?
Set them up. Or set them equals.
Yep, set each one to 0. And this time I only asked for the solutions between 0 and 2 pi, so I don't have to do all possible. Okay, so first one, sine is 0 at 0 and pi. Okay, this one, subtract our 1, divide by 2, that's negative 1/2. What quadrants is sine negative?
3 and 4.
Reference angle, one is sine 1/2.
30 degrees.
Pi
5
over
or 6.
6. So pi over 6 in quadrant 3.
7 pi over 6.
In quadrant 4.
11 pi over 6.
want to do now is some problems together. Just as a recap. So on the back of this notes handout, there is some additional practice I want to go through together.
He's really trying to power
But they only put one in the whole gallon, or like 80%.
Alright.
I wrote the first two problems on another paper because I couldn't find my notes.
Well, it wasn't in the notes.
Well, it was underneath my homework,
Oh, your notes from
so I
yesterday.
rewrote it.
How do we write 315 degrees in radians?
Times pi over 180. Or you could just know that it's 7 pi over 4.
Yes. Okay, so degrees cancel. 315 over 180 reduces to
7 pi over 4.
yes. And if you know your unit circle, you didn't even have to do that.
I didn't even recognize it in the unit circle.
All right, how do I write 2 pi over 5 in degrees?
Multiply it by 180.
So, pi's cancel. 2 times 180 divided by 5 is what?
72 degrees.
All right, so do you feel confident you can do those types of problems on your homework? All right, this one, I want all 6 trig functions for this x value. So first of all, if I give you a negative, what did we typically do? Okay. So that's like negative pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3, because 6 over 3 is 2. So that's 5 pi over 3. What quadrant is 5 pi over 3 in?
Carrie's on a different level of math than I am.
Oh no, I'm struggling with this.
I don't know why this won't focus. This
Carrie's
is,
on the Z, or the G axis there.
okay. Quadrant 4. Reference angle with radians, it's easy. It's just pi over your denominator, so pi over 3. So I want all 6 trig functions. So sine of negative pi over 3, cosine negative pi over 3, okay. In quadrant 4, sine positive or negative?
It's sine is negative.
Yes. Why won't this quit focusing?
I
This
was
is
trying to
frustrating.
picture the table, but I couldn't see it.
Okay, so negative. Pi over 3 is like 60 degrees. What's the sine of 60? Using your hand trick. If you have sine, how do you get cosecant? So that'd be negative 2 radical 3 over 3. Okay, cosine in quadrant 4, positive or negative? Positive. Cosine of 60? So that means secant is 2. Quadrant 4, tangent, positive or negative? Okay, tangent of 60? Yeah, radical 3 over 1 is just radical 3. So cotangent 1 over radical 3, negative radical 3 over 3.
Is your desk shaking too much? Can you move or something?
No, my document camera is just trying to focus for some reason. And it
I
won't
assume it
quit.
was shaking and that's why it's all.
It's just struggling.
Well, it's just a-
Yeah, we're all on the struggle bus today. Okay, 7 pi over 6. What quadrant is that? Quadrant 3. Reference angle? Pi over 6. Okay, so you can actually write the angle. You could call it x because I said x equals at the beginning.
Oh, you're talking about I didn't have to.
You can, I did on the last one. All right, in quadrant 3 is sine positive or negative?
Negative.
And sine of pi over 6 is the sine of 30 degrees, which is? Which means cosecant is? Negative 2. All right, cosine in quadrant 3 is? Negative radical 3 over 2. So secant is negative 2 radical 3 over 3. Tangent is positive in quadrant 3. Tangent of pi over 6. So cotangent would be? Yep. 3 over the square root of 3, which would reduce to that.
Oh, where did I write a negative? That's not right.
I wonder if it's the glare from my other computer screen that's upsetting my document.
Interesting.
Well, when I put my hand here, like blocking additional light. Is it going to stay? That's what made it finally quit. All right, let's try this one. If I want everything between 0 and 2 pi.
Oh, no.
Okay, so when is sine negative 1? Okay, it's thinking about our unit circle. Sine is the y is only negative 1 time, or only negative 1 time, and that is 3 pi over 2. Okay, over here, cosine equals radical 3 over 2. So in which quadrants is cosine positive?
1 and 4.
Reference angle. When is cosine radical 3 over 2?
30
So that's pi over,
6.
so pi over 6 in quadrant 1. In quadrant 4, last ones. What information do I want you to write down on these? Quadrant and reference angle every time. Okay, so 5 pi over 6 is in which quadrant?
2.
Reference angle would just be, okay, in quadrant 2 is sine positive or negative? Positive, and sine of pi over 6. Right. B. 4 pi over 3 is quadrant. Reference angle. Okay, and quadrant 3 is cosine positive or negative. And the cosine of pi over 3. Last one, tangent of 7 pi over 4. Quadrant. Reference angle. In quadrant 4, tangent is, and the tangent of pi over 4, radical 2 over radical 2, which is 1.
I forget you guys did both those.
Okay. Any questions? So you guys have time to work on that handout from yesterday and get it done before the weekend.
Straight over?